1, 2, 1.
We open on this one, we can hear the like sound of like skates on ice, the roar of the crowd, people impacting the boards as we are inside like a high school hockey arena. It's the middle of the game. We once again have that little text box that says 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, what did Jason Evans look like?
4 years ago, Jason would have been, I don't know, maybe like 6 foot and change, sort of like athletic build. Still, you know, a high schooler, so not overly built or anything like that. Kind of like a mop of hockey hair, kind of curly black hair. And I mean, that's the extent of it, I suppose. I don't know if you would want me to describe my clothing or anything like that.
I would imagine you're currently wearing a hockey jersey.
I'm currently like in hockey, so yeah.
And I think you are right now skating directly at someone who has the puck.
Yeah, and just kind of building up momentum as I'm skating down the ice, and I just like cross-check this poor kid who's like, I don't know, a right winger or whatever, and just send him into the boards.
Now, your powers aren't what they will be, spoilers. Mm-hmm. But what does it feel like for Jason when like you kind of instinctually use them to make this hit harder?
Yeah, it's like quite literally building up momentum, or potentially just like once I get going, I can't stop. It's a subtle feeling, but yeah, it's like a feeling of being unstoppable. And
I think it feels good too.
Yeah.
In this moment, you know what I mean? Yeah, you lay into this kid. He goes like a full like foot away from you into the boards. Like you just hit him that hard. He's fine, and it's a clean hit, except for the fact that you just use superpowers accidentally on him. I think like the glass of the boards kind of like spider webs a little bit where he hits.
Yeah.
The like speedy teammate behind you just like grabs the puck and like goes. I think you score. They score on that moment, and the siren sounds, and we're going to cut ahead to your team. You've just celebrated the win in the locker room. You're probably just taking your skates off in this moment.
Yeah, we're touching butts and giving high fives. Slapping butts. That's the one.
What's your coach's name?
Oh, I don't know. His name is Frank.
I think his last name is Frank because I don't think you know his first name. You know Coach Frank.
Okay, yeah, let's call him Coach Frank.
Coach Frank kind of leads his head out of the office. He's like, "Hey, Jason, someone wants to talk to you." Actually, he doesn't say Jason. He says, "Hey, Evans, someone wants to talk to you."
There you go. I don't know what my first name is.
When you're on this team, you are your last name.
Yeah. I kind of like wrap like a towel around and kind of like head out to.
I think your team, like on the when someone wants to see you, get the like ooh.
Yeah, we're high school boys. Yeah, I just kind of like put on the bare minimum of clothing and then kind of like turn around the changing rooms to where this meeting might take place.
Yeah, so this is like just a hallway outside, I would say. Coach is waiting with a man in a like bespoke suit. He has that look about him of like an ex-athlete, if that makes sense.
Okay.
He's a guy who can afford a good haircut. He's got a like expertly like groomed short beard and perfectly tailored suit. He's like, Mr. Evans, nice to meet you. He extends a hand to give you a handshake.
Yeah, I like clear my throat and put out a handshake, trying to look as professional and like, you know, stoic as possible while being kind of partially naked.
I'm Salvador Kane. I'm a representative of Vermilion Athletics. I'm sure you've heard of us.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Anyways, we'd like to invite you to participate in a new initiative of ours. It's a very exclusive training camp for the summer. You'll be working with star athletes from across the city, from across the area, really.
There's a moment of like quick excitement that comes over me, and then I try to like suppress that as best I can. Mm. You know, my emotions are not very reined in, and I try to play cool and just sort of like lean on something nearby me, like, oh, well, what's in it for me?
You're going to have access to some of the best sports doctors and trainers. We're going to have some professional hockey players come in there. We're really going to take your abilities and your game to the next level.
Well, you had me at next level.
I think this is going to be really good for you. You're making the right choice. And then we flash forward. 6 months later, you open your eyes. You are in a tank of some liquid. There's tubes coming out of your arms. You don't know how you got here.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you're trying to remember, and you're having trouble remembering anything that happened in the past few months.
Okay. I'm like submerged under some sort of liquid.
You've got a mask. You can actually feel that the mask has like a tube going down your throat.
Ooh, too many tubes.
What do you do?
I just like start panicking and then just start thrashing around and start like trying to like pull out tubes from various orifices.
Yeah, you're grasping at the tube in your mouth, you're pulling that out, and in your panic, like you start getting that feeling that you get when you play hockey of being unstoppable. Mm-hmm. But then that feeling just doesn't stop, and you feel yourself, you like slam into the bottom of the tank. Suddenly you're not suspended in the liquid anymore.
Yeah.
It can't suspend you. You're too dense.
Gotcha.
And in that moment, I think you rip the tube out of your mouth. The tubes in your arms kind of rip out as you descend because you're not where that you were supported before. Mm-hmm. Some blood comes out of where those pull out. And it feels like almost like you've got too much gravity. You're going to get pulled through, but somehow like your legs are able to support you. Like it's like you're getting stronger as you get heavier.
Okay. Can I potentially lift my legs up and then just start like kicking at the glass above me if I like sort of sink a little bit to the
There's
bottom?
glass in front of you that you can kick. 'Cause it's like a back to tank. That's kind of what you're in. So you've got glass in front of you that you could kick. Mm-hmm. To your surprise, I think it only takes one kick. You're just so strong in this moment.
Okay.
That you're like, you kick and it shatters the tube and the water runs out. Doesn't carry you with it again because you're so heavy right now. And you're standing in this broken tube. And now you can kind of see the rest of the room is a like lab room. There's other people in tubes. Some of them don't look like they're breathing. They look like you're kind of having flashbacks that these are maybe some of the other kids that showed up to this training camp with you.
Yeah, after kind of getting my bearings and managing to stand up and coughing out whatever liquid was in my lungs, I just like go from one kid to the next for just a moment and be like, oh shit, what is happening here? Where am I?
I think at that moment, an alarm goes off. Red lights flashing.
I panic and then just like start running to the end of the room. And is there like a way out?
There's doors to this room, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just like start running towards the door and without even just trying to see if it's open or unlock, I just like put my shoulder into it. And
I would like you to unleash your power.
That will be an 11.
So you do it. You are running these doors. You just put your shoulder into it like you're going for a hockey hit. Mm-hmm. And you like blow the doors off their hinges and just keep running, unstoppable. Just like the momentum that you have because you're so dense, you're so strong in this moment. You just like start barreling like through walls. You're definitely like knocking stuff over. Fires are starting behind you until you burst through like the final concrete wall and you're out on like a hill overlooking the city. You're in the woods kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And there's like this lab building built into the side of the mountain behind you. And you can see Universe City in front of you.
Okay. I take a moment to relish in being free and be like, I am a monster. And then just run into the woods.
And I think we flash forward 4 years to the quad of the University of Western Universe.
Okay.
And you see your friend Jackie, who has taken their form of Cambion, this demonic feature, getting like tossed aside by the Nightman. And in that moment, your other friend, Merganser, the speedy duck, quick quack to you, runs up next to you and is like, Bandit says we need to deal with this.
I crack my knuckles and turn to Merganser and be like, crid distraction, I got this.
Merganser gives you a nod and runs towards the fray. And you can see that Nightman has picked up this like huge chunk of bronze statue and is like standing over Cambion and is about to toss it down.
I start running, building up momentum and speed, and kind of just like leap up into the air and try to land in between Nightman and Cambion. And just like as I'm landing, I just increase my density as much as I can and maybe even like turn my back towards Nightman, like facing Cambion.
Yeah. Sounds like you're trying to defend Cambion, so please give me a roll plus savior.
But also trying to impress Cambion. Okay, that's I got a 9 plus, what do I add to
savior?
Defend? Can I use my defender ability, which is whenever I defend a level rival, which Jackie is, I can add my danger instead of savior.
Platonic love, we should say.
Platonic love.
Best friends.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that. So you can add your danger instead
That
of
will
your
be
savior.
an 11.
So you keep them safe and you choose one from this. You can add a point to the team pool. You can take influence over someone you protect, or you can clear a condition.
What was the first option again?
Add team to the team pool, which is our resource for helping each other out.
I feel like that is applicable. Team is life, and I
Such a hockey player.
So I'm going to create this like opportunity by basically taking the hit, and, Merganser's trying to distract. The others are kind of maybe springing into action. So I just add a point of team to the team pool. However that manifests, I'm not sure, but hopefully creating an opportunity for the teammates.
Okay. Nightman is like seeing you block this as you get in there. You just take this thing, you put a dent in the statue that is thrown at you and then toss it aside. And Nightman kind of looks at you and is like, most impressive. For a weakling, you're nothing to me. You might be able to take a hit from a statue, but you won't survive a hit from my dark energy blasts. He is attempting to exert influence over you, trying to shift your mundane up and your danger down.
I would definitely like to resist that.
All right. Roll to resist.
And that's just
his
the
influence.
Flat roll, right?
It's just a flat roll, yeah.
8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, when you reject someone's influence, you can either clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. You can shift one label up and one label down of your choice, or you can cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Yeah, I like the marking potential option.
All right, so mark potential, and then you need to immediately act to prove to him that you are not, in fact, a weakling, and you are a danger to Nightman.
Yeah, so after I have my back turned, taking the blow, and then I turn around to Nightman, and he does his whole bad guy monologue, and I just point to him and be like, you don't know me, and I just start running towards him, and it's just like, get wrecked, and then push.
All right, yeah, you leap up, and you just lay a haymaker at him.
Find out what happens on Orientation Day on the next episode of Origins. And stay tuned for the first issue of Dungeon Punk's Super U.